Hello. So when starting out with Microsoft Azure, there's going to be a short video. When starting out with Microsoft Azure, it's quite important to know cost saving mechanisms. One of the major cost saving mechanisms is VM auto shutdown. So you don't forget to leave VMs running um, when you're not working on them or running any workloads on them. So one option is to enable auto shutdown on the VM itself um, at a particular point in time. For example, 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 12 a.m., and you can set that, which is quite important. But there's a trick that you might miss regarding that. Okay, first of all, let's create a VM. We just logged into portal.azure.com. Let's just go there, portal.azure.com. After you're logged in, just search for virtual machines and you'll see it there. Go to that particular page and click on create and virtual machine. We're quickly going to create a Linux virtual machine here. Let's say G. Oh no, it's not pay as you go. Yeah, pay as you go. Test. Resource group. Virtual machine name according to your company's naming standards. Just name it accordingly. Select a region closest to your clients. We can even say East US here. We don't need that. The security type we don't need. Ubuntu is good enough. Spot instances is something that was introduced lately to discount the costs that you spend on Azure VMs. Um, but the downside is that if there's a pay-as-you-go customer, which actually requires um, some Azure resources to create their own VMs, they'll have to deallocate your own VM unless you can pay similar prices to what the pay-as-you-go customer is paying. So just be, yeah, you have to just read up on this. It's quite interesting. You can discount quite a bit, and they do warn you beforehand before decommissioning or deallocating your virtual machine, so you get a heads up, so you can adjust accordingly. This spot instances when you want to discount, and sometimes if you want to play around with virtual machines without having any particular SLAs that you require from Microsoft Azure. Okay, we're just going to leave that off because we want to run it as soon as possible. We're just going to select size there. We're just going to select password authentication. You can select an SSH key because this is a Linux VM. Just going to see Azure user, input password. Okay, allow. Okay, we're just going to allow SSH just to test this. We're in the disk tab, not on the premium SSD, we want a standard SSD. Okay, we don't need any data disks, we just want to test auto shutdown, networking, nothing special here. Let's just see, yeah, nothing special. This is management, this is very important. We'll talk about system managed identities when we shut down virtual machines according to a particular budget. That'll be a nice video. On the top right hand side, I'll just put a link to that particular video after I've created it. So yeah, as you can see here, as we mentioned, there's an auto shutdown checkbox here. This is an auto shutdown on a particular time. So this is time based. So every 6 p.m., every 12 p.m. or so, this will automatically shut down the virtual machine. We're just going to check it to on, and we're going to actually set a particular time in UTC now. We're going to say 03 say 52. We can adjust it afterwards, but yeah, we'll talk about that. You just give an email address that you feel comfortable with, um, and advanced. There's nothing we want to add on advanced. This is when you want to set up your host groups and the likes. Don't want any tagging. Let's review and create the VM now. Okay, just a warning that we have SSH port open, which is port 22. So yeah, just letting you know, do you know what you're doing? Okay, the validation has passed. Let's just create our VM. Okay, we're just going to wait for the deployment. It shouldn't take too long. So after the VM is created and it's in the running state, there's a public IP address that we have here. We're just going to copy it and SSH into it. We're going to open up an application called PuTTY or PuTTY, depending on how you pronounce things. So in the IP text box, we're just going to paste that particular public IP address and open it on port 22. So the first time you actually access this VM, it'll actually have a security prompt saying, are you sure you trust the VM? Here's its fingerprint or security signature. We're just going to trust it because we know what we're doing here. Okay, our username, the password that we set when we were creating the VM. Let's see if it'll actually SSH. Wow, now we've SSHed into our virtual machine. Perfect. We're just going to type in date here just to see the virtual machine's UTC date time, and we see November the 26th, and it's 4 a.m. So on the left hand pane here, if we scroll down under operations, we'll see auto shutdown. Now, if you click that auto shutdown link, you'll see a scheduled time that it should actually shut down, and the option whether to send notifications before shutdown or not. We're just going to enable the notification before shutdown to test something out because it's enabled by default. Okay, the scheduled time, let's see what time it is in UTC here. It's still 4 a.m. We're going to set it for 4:01:10 and save it. Takes a few seconds. It updated already. 4:01:10. It already passed. Okay, let's set it to 4:01:30. Save it. Okay, it updated. 4:01:24, 25, 27. Now it's approaching 4:01:30. Yeah. So ideally, the virtual machine should be shutting down any second now, and it's not. And we're going to look at why. But let's just give it a few more seconds. Let's see if the benefit of a doubt will help it auto shut down. Doesn't look like it's shutting down. Let's give it a few more seconds. So it's 30 seconds. There we go. 30 seconds have passed and the virtual machine is still very much alive. It's very much alive. We can run another command here just to verify the virtual machine is alive and it's alive and kicking. So what happened? Why didn't it auto shut down? This send notifications before auto shutdown has a disclaimer on it. Um, the disclaimer actually says it takes 30 minutes minimum for the virtual machine to auto shutdown if you are sending out notifications before the shutdown. So let's just make sure our virtual machine is still running. Yep, it's still running after a minute. So are we saying if we switch it off, it'll just auto shut down without respecting the 30 minutes wait? Let's test it out. That's why we're here. That's why we're making these videos. Okay, we set it to no, and we're going to select the time now. It's 4:03. We're going to say 4:03:30 quickly and save it. Takes a few seconds, and we're going to go back to our VM 40330. We're just going to wait for 40330. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It automatically, after getting to 40330, it automatically disabled our VM. Now let's go to the VM's overview blade. If we refresh here, it says it's deallocating. Wow. So it auto shut down the VM for us, and it honored our time. So just be cognizant of that. Under operations, auto shutdown, when you're having cost savings also, be aware that if you send out notifications before the shutdown, it'll actually have to be 30 minutes before the time. Otherwise, it'll actually skip the auto shutdown. So just be aware of that. And yeah, happy saving in Microsoft Azure. Cheers for now.